Hello, everyone. My name is Nicholas, and together with my group members, we will be presenting on the philosophical perspectives on the climate crisis. Our goal is to explore how different ways of thinking shape humanity's relationship with nature and influence our response to environmental challenges. This presentation explores how different philosophical frameworks shape humanity's understanding of nature and influence our behavior towards the environment. By analyzing metaphysics, cultural relativism, decolonial perspectives, and environmental ethics, we aim to understand how worldviews contribute to both the causes and solutions of the climate crisis. One of the most fundamental philosophical questions we can ask is this: what is the true relationship between humans and the natural world? Are we separate from it, or are we a part of it? This tension is reflected in two contrasting worldviews. The first being dualistic worldview, which is rooted in traditional Western thought. Philosophers such as Rene Descartes argued that humans, through reason, stand above nature. This belief encouraged the idea that nature exists primarily for human use, leading to domination, resource extraction, and the patterns of environmental exploitation we see today. In contrast, the ecocentric worldview positions humans within a larger ecological scale. Modern ecological thinkers, including Arne Naess, propose that all living beings have intrinsic value and that human well being is inseparable from the well being of the natural world. From this perspective, harming the environment ultimately harms humanity because we depend on the same interconnected systems. One major implication of our metaphysical worldview is the way that it shapes human behavior toward the environment. When people see themselves as separate from nature, it leads to the exploitation of forests, rivers, and wildlife. This separation encourages pollution, climate change, and biodiversity loss because nature is viewed as a resource to be used rather than a community for life. In contrast, many indigenous knowledge systems offer a worldview grounded in connection and responsibility. These communities often understand humans as caretakers who must maintain balance and reciprocity within the land. Their practices emphasize long term stewardship, and research consistently shows that conservation outcomes improve when indigenous ecological knowledge informs environmental management. Together, these perspectives highlight the key takeaway of this section. The climate crisis is deeply connected to how humans perceive their relationship with nature. If we continue to operate from a mindset of dominance, environmental degradation will persist. But if we shift towards independence, recognizing that harming nature ultimately harms ourselves, we move closer to a sustainable and balanced future.
Postmodernist relativism challenges the idea that there is only one universal truth. Instead, it argues that what people believe is shaped by culture and society. When we apply this to climate change, it suggests that environmental action can differ because culture and understand nature in different ways. Postmodernist thinkers like Foucault say that truth is created through differences. For example, Western industrial societies often view nature as a resource to manage for economic growth. In contrast, indigenous and non-Western cultures usually see human as a part of nature. These different worldviews influence environmental policies, technology choices, and ethical attitudes. Culture also shaped everyday behavior. In Japan, the concept of mottainai teaches people not to waste resources. This idea strongly supports Japan's detailed recycling system, where people separated waste into many categories: clean items before disposal and follow strict community rules. As a result, recycling becomes a normal part of daily life and reflects the cultural value of respecting resources. On the other hand, some Western culture links success to consumption, which leads to higher waste and pollution. In many Pacific Island communities, people believe that they are caretakers of the land, and environmental responsibility is shaped within the country. However, postmodern relativism also creates challenges. If every culture belief is valid, how can we all agree on global climate solutions? A balanced view is to create its combined specific knowledge with cultural values. In fact, community projects that include ingenious ecological knowledge often achieve better results. Overall, postmodern relativism helped us to understand that environmental action is shaped not only by science but also by cultural beliefs. By respecting different viewpoints, society can create solutions that are both effective and culturally meaningful.
Hello, my name is Jojo, and I'll be talking about whether decolonized philosophy can help restore humanity's balance with nature. Originally, decolonization referred to countries gaining independence, but today it also means freeing our minds from colonial ways of thinking, especially the belief that Western science and technology are the only correct solutions to environmental problems. During decolonization, land was treated as commodity. Forests, rivers, and mountains are viewed mainly as resources to be exploited. These came from Western philosophies that place humans above nature. Thinkers like Descartes believed humans could control nature through reasons and science. But this mindset led to deforestation, pollution, and damaged ecosystems. In contrast, ingenious worldviews see humans as part of nature, not superior to it. Modern climate solutions like electric vehicles or carbon markets are useful, but they often repeat colonial patterns. For example, minerals for EV batteries, frequently mined on indigenous lands, harming local communities. A decolonized approach asks important questions: who benefits from these solutions? Who is harmed? And how can we make decisions that are truly and just sustainable? We already see positive examples. Indigenous fire management in Australia helped prevent large wildfire. In New Zealand, the Wanganui River was given legal rights because Maori viewed it as ancestor. Amazon communities protect forests by following traditions of respect and harmony. Ultimately, decolonization is not only about land, it's about changing how we think. Instead of managing nature from above, we recognize that we coexist with it. Decolonization invites healing, both of ecosystem and of the historical harm caused by colonization. So, can decolonized philosophy restore balance between human and nature? Yes, but only if we're willing to shift from dominance to connection, from possession to relationship. By combining modern science and ancestral wisdom and acting with justice and compassion, we can create a future that is both sustainable and equitable.
All right, my name is Omar, and I'll be talking about the human concept and how caring for the planet can reinforce one's humanity. So basically, all the way back in prehistoric times, humans and our early ancestors lived and thrived on resources found in Mother Nature. Eventually, this led to the invention of agriculture, where humans participated in the natural life cycle of flora. Even if it was to only avoid starvation, their actions can be thought of as a form of reciprocity, basically paying nature's favor back in kind. Alright, so two concepts exist that are related to this aforementioned reciprocity, which is ecocentrism and anthropocentrism. So basically, ecocentrism argues that Earth and nature itself cannot be considered less important than any other human interest or any human interest. While anthropocentrism, in contrast, conveys that humans are the most important and therefore are above the previously mentioned. Anthropocentrism essentially served as the basis for many old Western thinking processes and religions, and in a way, it also reinforced the Western idea of exploitation or the Western action of colonialism. This idea of ecocentrism, sorry, the idea of ecocentrism has been less and less adopted by those that have the most impact on the environment, however, such as major corporations. But if on an individual level, I would say that ecocentrism is being adopted more. So to wrap my part up, basically caring for the planet embodies the aforementioned idea of ecocentrism. And this embodiment therefore reinforces humanity's selflessness, as one is recognizing the planet's inherent and intrinsic value through practicing the concept instead of, let's say, practicing or not practicing, sorry, embodying anthropocentrism instead. By protecting and safeguarding nature, humans are giving back to the environment, the same environment that allowed us to progress this far in the first place. All right, that wraps up our presentation for today. So thank you.